Oh my, why have I disappeared? What was that about? All right, hello. I made it, thank God. How are you guys? How are we feeling today? Hello, hi Bone. Aha. Negative 15. Negative 25. Doing good. Just looking back at some old memories. Ooh, what kind of old memories? Schoolwork, ugh. I'm sleeping now, so any second. I'm sleeping early, so any second now the streak will increase and I sleep. Okay, yes. Streak increase and then you sleep. A good idea. It was like a game project I did with the person still up to mystery whether they're around or not. Around in what sense? Like around alive or around... Oh dear. Let's see. I think this is better, yes? Okay, streak here, bye. Okay, bye freezing. see. Okay. I think... What type of questions or topics? Anything. Anything about life, you know? That sort of thing. Let me make this slightly smaller. Ooh, there we go. Okay, I think I figured out how to make the chat thing better. Ah, thank you so much. Nuclear bomb has been fired for following. Oh my goodness, I hope a nuclear bomb has not actually been fired. That would be kind of problematic. Around as in if they're online, you know? Okay, that makes more sense. Like around as in alive? Because that would not be great. What topics haven't we discussed? I mean, a lot of things, like, you know. Basically anything you guys want, like, I'm okay with. I'm down to discuss anything. Let me move myself to the side a little bit. Lev, turning notifications down. Okay, I did that. Meme name, I love that model, but what are you? I am a, okay, so this form is like a Tiiruki form, but like lore-wise, I'm like a sentient flower that cultivated into a mind healer. Don't worry about it. I'm like an alive plant in the body form of a deer dragon situation. I can't believe that Nuke got fired from their job for being toxic. Eh? How to buy home? Oh my god, that's a hard question. If that's the case, how do you personally deal with grief or learn how to accept something? Ooh. That's a good question. Oh, did you mean what are you as in like what kind of doctor are you? Because yeah, I'm a psychiatrist. See, don't call me a mental chiropractor. I don't want... Chiropractors are not real doctors. Controversial opinion, but chiropractors are not real doctors. Ugh, I gotta work today. Gross. I also have to work today. So, I feel you. I also think it's gross. Okay. It was a joke on the person with the username. Forget about it. I'm not funny. Oh. Okay, I see. No, I meant the model. Okay, yes. I am a Qilin. Qilin. Deer dragon type situation. It's a Chinese mythical monster. But like plant-based. Don't worry about it. Is it ethical to force people to live a healthier, more productive life that would most likely make them happier in the long run, or let them make their own mistakes even if it leads to more harm? Ah, okay. We have good questions. Let me pin some of them real quick. Okay. Okay, let's start with how to buy home. How to buy home? Look for home. Well, okay. There's multiple steps to how do you buy a house. I say this as if I've ever bought a house, but I haven't. But basically, if you're thinking about how to buy a house, there's a couple different things. First, you need to get a sense of what your budget is. And your budget is kind of determined by how much money are you willing to spend each month on housing. So look at your current rent, I guess, and if that's how much you want to pay, or if you can pay more or less, and go a little bit less than that, because there's going to be housing expenses that your rent currently pays for, but that you will have to save up for if you own a house. And take all of this information to a bank, and they will tell you how much money they will give you as a loan, and the sort of like parameters of that loan, like how fast do you have to pay it back, how much do you have to pay back per month, that sort of a thing. Yeah. And so it's kind of like buying a car, but even more expensive, right? So the goal would be that you want it to be an amount of money that you can pay back comfortably each month. But that also doesn't mean that your mortgage lasts for like 80,000 years, because that is not good. And also you'll end up paying a lot in interest, and you also want the interest to be low. So anyways, you go talk to your bank, financially talk to someone to make sure that they're offering you a decent mortgage, and that gives you a sense of how much money you can spend. Go find a realtor or a real estate agent, or do it yourself, I guess, but it's like kind of complicated to do it yourself. There's a lot of legal stuff with buying a house, and go find a house in your budget. Hopefully less, that's like the listed price is like maybe less than your budget. It kind of depends on if it's a buyer's or seller's market, apparently. And then you go and they make an offer on like how much money you're willing to give this person, and then they can accept your offer or they cannot accept your offer. And then there's legal stuff in terms of like contract of buying the house. And that's roughly how buy house. Okay. Next, if that's the case, how do you personally deal with grief, or to learn how to accept something? That is a good question. How do you deal with grief is a hard question. You know, it's funny, my husband and I have been watching The Pit recently, and yeah, that we were looking at that episode with the father who passes away, and the doctor's talking about like the 4 things that you say when someone dies, and it's I think it like applies generally, right? Which is like, I love you, thank you, I forgive you, please forgive me. I feel like that's just like very true generally for all of us, right? When we lose something, it's like a way of processing grief. Thank you for following Seductive Hippo 82635. Are you the 82,635th Seductive Hippo? That's a lot of Seductive Hippos. Seductive Hippo is a crazy name, by the way. I love it. Lol. Also, make sure you have a good, decent credit score. This is about buying a house. Yes, you should have a good credit score if you want to buy a house. Please. Motto motto, getting it on. I'm the most seductive out of all the hippos. Just look at the PFP. Wait, is that the guy from... Are you the hippo from Madagascar? Oh my god. When accepting loss, have a credit score of over 600. No. We're putting 2 things together. Oh my god. I like them big. I like them chunky. That's terrible. Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you guys referencing the Madagascar movie? Like, text from the Madagascar? Because I don't remember the dialogue from that movie. I just remember Big Hippo Man. And there's a hippo girl, right? What's her name? Gloria? Gloria? She's dating the giraffe? The neurotic, like, anxious giraffe? Whatever his name is. Jeffrey? I don't know. Yes? No? Okay. We're talking about accepting grief. The thing is, grief is uncomfortable. And as humans, we often want to avoid things that are uncomfortable, right? And I think that makes sense on some levels. But it's important to allow yourself to feel your feelings. You know? I may have just dropped food on my keyboard. Oops. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to figure out how to get this thing out of my keyboard, but whatever, it's fine. Sorry, I'm finishing my breakfast. Depends on the grief, TBH. Like, if it was a terminal illness like Alzheimer's, you have time to process it. This is true. Although, okay, so my favorite, one of my favorite representations of like how we trick ourselves when we're grieving is, have you guys ever watched Succession? So, Macaulay Culkin's brother plays Roman, and Roman, you know, spoiler alert, their dad dies. And Roman says this thing, well, he's like kind of an immature character, and he starts saying like, oh, I'm fine. I've pre-grieved. I've pre-grieved. I'm like, that's not a thing. You can't pre-grieve. You know? Like, your emotions are your emotions, and oftentimes, like, especially if they're really strong, it's going to be too much to put into words or to even, like, explain away. Like, I feel like something that happens really often nowadays is this idea that, like, if your emotions aren't logical, which they rarely are, but, like, if your emotions or your reactions aren't fully logical, that if you can say that to yourself, like, oh, this doesn't make sense because of blah, 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 then you don't feel that way, you know? Like, I see this a lot where people will be like, oh, well, I'm mad, but I shouldn't be because I can understand blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, but you can still be mad. Even if you know rationally, like, oh, I shouldn't really be mad because I understand where they're coming from, blah, 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 blah. You can still be mad. You know? It doesn't have to be logical. In fact, it often isn't. And I think accepting that our emotions are not logical and are not rational and are based on like random things sometimes, and that we might be more angry because we're tired or hungry or someone hits on something that we're sensitive about, like that we aren't fully in control of our emotions, I think is the first step to accepting that like your emotions are stronger than you think, and they're going to influence you, right? And pretending that they don't just means that they'll influence you anyway and you just won't know about it. That's my thinking. So grief is not logical. Grief is not linear. It comes in waves often, and accepting as opposed to moving on, I think, is the goal. And it's about like learning to live with it, you know? not ignoring it, not distracting yourself from it, not pushing it down, you know. Okay, that was one question. Okay, big question. Is it ethical to force people to live a healthier, more productive life that would most likely make them happier in the long run, or let them make their own mistakes, even if it leads to more harm? No, it is not ethical to force people to do things. No, it's not. I mean, this is our entire field, right? Like, if it were as simple as telling someone like, hey, you should do this because it would make you happy, and then they could just do it, it's like, then I wouldn't have a job. Self-help books wouldn't exist. Like self-help psychology productivity books wouldn't exist, right? Like you can't force people to live a life that would make them happy, because the thing is that part of what makes someone happy is a sense of agency, a sense of autonomy, a sense of choosing the life that they want for themselves. Like, I think definitionally you can't actually be happy if you're doing things because someone else forced you to do it. Like, even if it is what you want, if the main reason is that someone forced you into it, then you're not going to be happy about it, you know? Right? Like, how many times has this happened to you where like someone's forcing you or pushing you to do something that maybe you would want to do anyway, but because they're pushing you to do it, now you're like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. And, you know, ethically speaking, it's very important. We've decided as a society that autonomy is very important, you know, that people should be allowed to make their own choices and people should be allowed to make their own mistakes. Even in the most extreme cases of like parent and child, where we agree that like children don't get to make a lot of their own decisions, part of parenting a child is allowing them to make safe mistakes, you know, to make mistakes in a safe, supervised environment, you know? Forcing people often doesn't lead to long-term change anyway. Yeah, exactly. It kind of kills their self-discovery. Yes. Yeah, like I think part of I don't think that everyone has I don't think that there is a right way to live for everyone, first of all, right? And I don't think that the point of life as a human being is to like live a perfect life. I don't know if that's even possible. I feel like for all of us, we are all on a journey of self-discovery and of learning who we are and what we want and what kind of life we want to make for ourselves. And to do that, you have to exert your agency on the world, you know? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Exactly. I think that's the difficult part, when it's a safety thing or affects other people. I mean, that is when it's hard, yeah. When like someone's doing something that could hurt themselves or could hurt other people. And I feel like there is a threshold for that. And we all kind of disagree. We can disagree on the particulars of where that is, right? Like if someone is about to mortally wound themselves or someone else, I think generally we are in agreement that we should stop that. That we should not let them do that. Even if it's like kind of against their will. But like less things like, oh, you're gonna do something that's going to really hurt the feelings of a friend. I mean, I know some people who would like try to stop you, but like you can't like force someone to stop, you know? Like what are you gonna do? Tackle someone to the ground? Like I say this to patients all the time. It's like doctors can tell you what they think they should do and they can make recommendations, but ultimately it's just recommendations, right? Like your doctor's not following you home and like tackling you to the ground and being like, you have to eat this, or like you have to take this medication. Like ultimately, if you don't want to, you don't have to, you know? Valley Girl, man, I love this redeem. Well, I hate it. I don't like it. Oh my god. Oh, there's two of them. Now there's two. Oh my god. And they were roommates. Extra Valley Girl. Oh my god. Extra Valley Girl. It's not, in my opinion, but if that journey leads to crime or drugs, maybe you would need some intervention. Yeah, I mean, like, I agree. Again, I think that that falls into like doing grievous harm to yourself or to other people. That like if you're going to do grievous harm to yourself or to other people, that we should like stop you, especially if you're like about to do that like immediately, like right now, like not like in 10 years, but like in 10 minutes.
Then this redeem is unethical.
Yes, it is unethical. Every time that you use this redeem, you are going to hell. But with like crime and drugs, like often, and I would argue even most of the time, people who are using substances are doing so because of underlying like issue. It's not just for fun, you know? You know, like it's not like if you take away someone's coping mechanisms, even if it's like a bad one, like drinking, they're going to need another coping mechanism. And so they might find something just as bad. And this is why often with addiction, you like are kind of playing like whack-a-mole, you know, if you don't figure out the underlying problem. I love hell. It is hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Oh, oh. I laugh. What if that person is like my family member or someone under my protection? Maybe an elderly person. Oh, well then yeah. Then your responsibility, if someone isn't able to make decisions for themselves, which is like a legal thing, that's like a legal thing, then you make decisions for them. That's kind of how it goes, yeah. But I think we all disagree in terms of like where, how to put this, like at what point is someone not able to make decisions for themselves anymore? Okay. Must attend lab, then be vogging. Have an amazing day, Lev, and chat. Okay, bye, Bean. I'll be lurking as well. Okay, bye, Viper, and bye, Seek. Wow, everyone's leaving me. Everyone's abandoning me. How could this happen? This is so rude. I was going to talk about something that happened yesterday, and then I forgot what it was that I was going to talk about. I'm dumb. My brain no work. Yeah, how are you guys? I'm thinking right now about I'm thinking guys, I need you guys to tell me I need you guys to tell me that you love me. Otherwise, I'm going to fall apart and die. I'm needy, okay? If I go without praise, I will just like fucking scream on the ground or something. I don't know. You are loved and appreciated. I win. I win. Thanks, Twinkie. That sounds unhealthy. I mean, yeah, probably. In actuality, if I was being serious, that yeah, probably would be kind of unhealthy. But it's a good thing I'm like not being serious. Right? Like not completely. Okay, Tinkerbell. Oh, yes, Tinkerbell rules. I need you guys to all like believe in me and like clap or some shit. What are the rules for Tinkerbell again? I totally forgot. Oh, I remember what I was going to talk about. This is like the other thing that I was thinking about in terms of like productivity. So adulting, productivity, and willpower. So this is something I talked about the last time that we did like a chatting about being an adult stream, which is part of becoming an adult is realizing that there is no amount of willpower or discipline that is going to turn you into a different person or make you like no longer human, right? We are always going to want to do things that give us pleasure, like in a hedonistic way. That's just how it is, or avoid things that make us uncomfortable, right? And so the way to turn your life into a kind of life that you want is not by forcing yourself to do the harder thing. And like if the way for you to become more productive is that you just have to keep choosing to do the harder, more annoying thing, that's never gonna work. Like if your thought of like, oh, I'm gonna become a more productive person by just choosing to not use the internet and choosing to not like, I don't know, distract myself or to never watch TV again, like that's not gonna happen. You know, in the same way that like, oh, I'm going to like fill my house with cookies and I'm just gonna choose to not eat cookies. Like that's that. Why? Right? And so like it all, making good choices doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? This is like this is a bit of an aside, but this is why people talk about food deserts, right? It's like way easier to choose to eat healthier if the option of eating healthier is easy and more available, right? If you're like, I have $15 for lunch, I could drive for 2 minutes and go to McDonald's and get food within like 5 minutes, or I could have planned to have driven for an hour and a half 3 days ago and a meal prep. Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, if it's not easy, it's less likely to happen. And so you can't blame people for making a simpler or easier or less painful choice, even if it's like not the best choice, right? Because choices are not equal. So in any case, this applies to your life also, right? So this is why I recently purchased a brick. Not like literally a brick, like a cinder block brick. Like, it's an NFC tag. You'll see them online, honestly. If this makes any of you guys buy one, then they should sponsor me. But I think what you're really buying is not just the tag, you're buying the application, which I actually like a lot. Basically what it is that when you buy a brick, it's like a fancy NFC tag that's in this really nice like silicone case thing and has a magnet on it so you can put it like on your fridge or on your microwave or something. So like somewhere in your house. And basically what the app does is that you can set it to like block access to a bunch of different applications. And when you brick your phone, the only way to unbrick it is to go back to the physical location of your brick and like tap it against it. So it's not impossible, right? It's not impossible to unbrick your phone. You're not like, oh my god, I'm going to turn off access to this thing and I have to just like live with that for like the next 5 hours, or like, you know, hammer smash my phone to pieces. But like it makes it a little bit harder, right? Like you choose to turn off access to a bunch of different apps and then you walk away and you go to your desk, and it's like even just the added friction of I will have to open this app again and get up and walk all the way back to my kitchen to unbrick this phone is enough friction to make it so that you don't do it, you know? Like yesterday, no, I've been trying to write for like a really long time, right? Like I've been trying to write fiction. Don't ask me what kind of fiction. Don't ask me where it's being published. I'm not telling you either of those things. You don't get to know those things. Don't worry about it. But I'm writing, I was writing yesterday and I was like, oh my god, I keep getting fucking distracted. Like, this will happen where I'm like trying to write, but I keep just instinctively just like cycling through like Twitter, YouTube, Discord, TikTok. You know, it's terrible. And the thing is that it's not like I don't enjoy it, and it's not like I don't want to talk to my friends, right? Because that's what I end up doing, is I end up just like chatting with people. But it's like at some point I start just sitting there waiting for something to happen on Twitter so that I can talk. And I'm like, okay, I need to stop doing this because I'm just wasting my time sitting here on social media and not doing what I want to do, something that'll make me happy, you know, that sort of a thing. So anyways, I was like, all right, I'm deciding I want to write. So I bricked my phone so that I could only access like music and other productivity type stuff. I even like turned off Chrome, and then on my computer, on my browsers, I installed like browser blockers, website blockers, and I blocked everything distracting. I even blocked all of YouTube except for like 2 specific YouTube videos that are songs that I like for writing. And I wrote for like an hour and a half straight without even really like having to force myself to do it. It was great, actually. It was really nice. And I finished the thing I was writing and I published it, and I'm very happy about it. Did I edit it? No. Is it good? Not clear. But you know, I'm happy that I finished. So anyways, add friction to the things that you don't want to do. It'd be nice if everyone could have access to healthy food, but in reality it becomes more of a political issue because one party wants to just take away unhealthy food and doesn't replace it with healthy food, and other just wants people to have food regardless of whether it is healthy or not. Yeah, that is also part of the problem. You know, like, you want to make healthy food more accessible and cheaper and also easier to not just easier to access, but more available, right? And more of it like a realistic option. This is also part of the problem with a lot of like food stamp type stuff and like what food stamps can or can't be used for. Going to the library was the only way I ever got stuff done in college. Exactly. There's also a way of adding friction, right? Because I don't know about you guys, I don't like it when other people can look at my screen. I don't like when people look at my screen, right? And so if you go to the library in college, I don't know about how your guys' library was set up, but I liked going to the library and using the library computers, right? Because on the library computers, I have to log back into everything like social media or everything distracting, right? I love when I'm working, like using, I don't know, YouTube, but not logged in so that I don't get any recommendations and I have to look specifically for the videos that I want, which are usually like studying background music type stuff. But yes, that's another form of friction. Social shame. I am much less likely to start goofing off on the internet if I'm in public. Because what if people look? And maybe they won't. And over the years, I've started to care less about what other people think of me, especially strangers. But there is still something like, I'm not going to start reading like fan fiction in the middle of the library on an enormous 18-inch computer screen. So yes, add friction to the things that you don't want to do, and then make the things that you do want yourself to do easier, right? I need tax advice, not file or file your taxes. File your taxes, please. Okay, without going into too much detail, is the published work Omegaverse adjacent? I can neither confirm nor deny rumor or speculation. Please. No, I can neither confirm nor deny. Keeping a separate browser for work stuff versus regular stuff is also helpful. Oh yes, this is also true. Like, you can do this with like different accounts or different account settings in your browsers, or you can use full-on separate browsers. Like, I've used both Zen and Arc. So I usually will use like Arc for work and Zen for fun stuff, like completely separate browser systems. No further questions. Mods and pregnant. No one's pregnant, okay? We're not getting anyone pregnant. Yet. No further questions? Okay, good. I hope that answers your question sufficiently. Rich people move is to own 2 laptops. The work laptop can't game. That's true. That is the rich person move. Oh my god. The rich person move is, yeah, it's like I have 2 of everything. As technology connections would say, through the power of having 2 of them, I've solved my problem. Okay, the problem is though, I'm not rich and I have 2 laptops. Ah! Little bit. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Alright, you watch Technology Connections, you get a follow. Thank you for following, Circle Tech. Bro, I love Technology Connections. Through the power of having 2 of them is one of my favorite things to reference. Between Technology Connections is through the power of having 2 of them, which is more about like, this is how I can show you the final thing while also showing you a tech breakdown of the inside. It also makes me think of CGP Gray's like, 1 is none, 2 is 1, like always have a backup. And so by this logic, I do have 2 of everything. But, well, okay, because I do have 2 computers, not because I'm rich, but because I can't be trusted to not dox myself online if my work computer is also my VTubing computer. Like, that's just asking for trouble, you know. I'm not. None of this stuff exists. And like, not even like doxing myself to you guys, like reverse doxing, whatever that's called. Like showing up, like showing, like accidentally letting work people in real life know that I am an anime girl on the internet for fun. You know what I mean? I don't know what to call that. Is that a reverse dox? Like, because they know who I am, and oftentimes these are friends who know where I live. Like, they know my real legal name. They know all of that personal information, but I still don't want them to know that I am a whatever on the internet. Hello, a nice avatar. Thank you, Darjik313 for the first time chat. Okay, to be fair, you should keep the work computer separate. See, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. However, my work does not give me a work computer, so I have to just like make my own computer, my work, decide. Just be like, this is work computer. Bro, I can't even tell people I watch VTubers. Why not, huh? Are you ashamed of me? Is that what this is? We've just met and you're ashamed of me. I'm your dirty little secret. Darjik. Oh, Darjik. Okay. Unworks your work computer. No! I've met Alec a couple of times at Open Source. He's the same person as he is on YouTube. I mean, that does not surprise me at all. There's like some tech people online. There's some content creators online that I'm like, you are the same in person as you are online, aren't you? Because like this is such a specific persona. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Darjik. Thank you for the follow. Wait, your work doesn't give you your own PC? What the fuck? Yeah, no, they don't. I'm starting a new job soon. After I graduate, and they're theoretically supposed to give me a PC. Theoretically. So that'll be fun. I want to meet Styropyro. Who's Styropyro? I'm looking that up now. Styropyro. I'm a science maniac that loves building huge lasers and playing with electricity and chemicals. Love that. Love that. I mean, okay, so that's like in the genre of like science inventor YouTubers that are also chaotic, right? Okay, yeah. So Styropyro, Nile Red, I think is also one. Michael Reeves, although he does more engineering stuff. But like, yeah. Okay, makes sense. That makes sense. Bro, I'd love to meet Michael Reeves someday. He's so chaotic, I love it. Oh, you know who Michael Reeves should meet? Hudson Williams. That would be so much like Asian chaos in one room that the world would explode. Yeah. Michael Reeves is the best. He's great, yeah. Styropyro is great. Oh, his name is Drake. I met him at Open Source too. You'd be surprised how socially isolated a lot of content creators are. I was talking to a creator who had 10 million YouTube subs. And he had like no friends outside his job. What? That's so sad. Wait. First of all, 10 million YouTube subs. That's awesome. Good for him. But oh my god. Wait, if he had 10 million YouTube subs, is his job content creation, or did he still have like a job outside of being a YouTuber? Because, I mean, either way, it's kind of sad, but I feel like if you are a YouTuber and you only have YouTuber friends, like job friends, that's like more sad than if you were a YouTuber and you also had like a real life job and you only had friends on YouTube and your real life job, because at least that's like still friends in two places, you know? Okay, so here's the thing. Okay. It was Linus Tech Tips. His job consumes his life. Oh shit! It was You've talked to Linus Tech Tips? That's so cool. That's so cool. He's so cool. He's so cool. Dang, that really sucks though. Oh my god. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. Although at least he talks to people in person though. Like they work together in person, because I know they do videos and stuff together. We all should start catapulting dogs. No. People isolating themselves is becoming a real big epidemic. It is. It is. And let me tell you, this is what I'm going to talk about. Okay. So the old adage, like, if a tree falls in a forest and nobody hears it, did it really make a sound? Like, to be clear, that's a metaphor. Like, do things exist outside of human perception, right? And where that comes, like, I feel like we need to stop thinking about it literally. Like, yes, of course, literally trees fall in the forest, and literally they do make sounds even if someone is not there to hear it, right? But this is this is what always infuriates me. That is a metaphor for, like, if something happens in history but nobody recorded it, did it really happen? And, like, of course, yes, literally speaking, it happened. But, like, what we know of history, what we know of other people, it's all mediated through human perception, right? Like, people from hundreds, thousands of years ago who didn't, like, leave something for us to see now, functionally don't exist in our collective consciousness. That's the point. Anyways, my point is that humans are social animals, and if, how do I put this? If aspects of ourselves or our personalities are not witnessed by another person, it can feel like it doesn't exist, right? And so this is why, like, we are all whole, complex, multifaceted people, right? This is why we tend to have different versions of ourselves depending on the environments that we're in, right? There's, like, work you and home you and, you know, romantic you and angry, like, who you are changes depending on the situation that you're in. But if you aren't in different situations and you aren't having different aspects of your personality and your personhood being witnessed and acknowledged by other people, then you, like, flatten yourself, right? And this is why, if you only have relationships in one area of your life, you feel stifled, right? Like, even if you are someone who does a lot of work and all your friends are at work, even if you have other things about you that exist, right? Like, I like to cook and I like to do this and I like to read this and like to whatever. If there's no one to talk to about that, if there's no one who sees you do that, who witnesses you doing that, who knows that you do that, then it's almost like that part of you doesn't exist, right? And then that's how people sort of just get, like, flattened in life. It's really sad. The flip side is that having others around us who know us can help keep us accountable to reaching the healthy goals we want. Also true. Right? Like, if we don't have people who know, like, the human condition is one where we want to be understood by others in our entirety, in our totality, right? And that is impossible if we only know someone in one specific flat context. So either you have some people who know you really deeply in a really complex way, or you have a lot of people who can see and pay, like, witness to different aspects of your personality, and oftentimes you need both. But what do you call a man who can't stand? I don't know, man. My op. Someone I can't stand. Neil. What do you call a man who can't stand? Neil? I'm gonna kill you. I have a mix of both of those kinds of people. That makes sense. That's good, I think. right? Because you want relationships of like varying amounts of depth, you know? Dumb ads. Wait, what kind of ads are you guys getting even? Also, if you don't like ads, you can subscribe with Twitch Prime or whatever. I only run ads so that we don't get I only run ads so that we don't get pre-rolls. Yeah. I can wait a few seconds. Okay, that's good. What do you call a man who is capable of many things? Ken. Yeah, like can. Like he can. I think the worst I ever had was getting the same ad of join the Royal Navy 5 times in a row. Join the Royal Navy. Jesus. That's just propaganda. No? And he was a US citizen? Oh my god, that's so funny. Twitch wants me to take a vacation. Ah, okay. Go on vacation. Go enjoy yourself. Oh my gosh, do you guys remember? Maybe where you're the wrong demographic. I don't know what your ages are. Like, or I don't know what y'all's ages are relative to me. But did anyone else watch what is that show called? It was like it's like a what's it called? Legends of the Hidden Temple? Is that right? Yes. 7, 27, 25, 24. Okay, this wasn't an invitation for you guys to tell me how old you are. I don't want to know this information. Don't tell me anything personal. Legends of the Hidden Temple. I say this like it was the only game show that did this, but it's the only one that I remember where they'd be like, if you win, you win a scooter, a lifetime supply of moon shoes, and a trip for 2 days with one family member to Florida. Like, that's what comes to mind when people talk about, like, you know, I'm getting ads for going on vacation. I don't know, those were like the most effective ads for me. I'd be like, I really want to go. That's a bit before our time? What? That's before your time? No way. Sutra, that's not funny. Sutra, that's not funny. Stop. Stop or I'm gonna time you out. It's not funny. That's a bit before our time is crazy. Legends of the Hidden Temple isn't that old. I mean, okay, to be fair, it came out in like the 90s, but it was like syndicated and reran for a long time. I'm pretty sure, right? $19th prime number? What is the 19th prime number? Lev is 3 feet at yahoo.com. Yahoo! Yahoo! Oh shit, why does that link? Because anything that's linky is going to link. Oh my god, wait. They remade Legends of the Hidden Temple? In 2021? Oh my god. But with adults? Oh, that's so lame. Why would you remake Legend of the Hidden Temple with adults? No, the whole point is that it was kids in a studio. Why aren't they in a studio? Oh my god. Yeah, no, I can see why the reboot stopped existing after a while. Because they're out of ideas. I mean, I guess that makes sense. But Legend of the Hidden Temple was like really good. Did you guys ever watch it? Oh man, I loved it so much. It's so good. Alright guys, no more talks of doxing, even jokingly, okay? Okay? Because people only care about money these days. Well, it's an understandable thing to care about, I think. Because like, money doesn't buy happiness beyond a certain point, but below a certain point, money certainly does buy comfort and stability and reassurance, you know, that sort of thing. I didn't. I watched French TV from the UK. What was that like? I don't actually know very much French other than like parlez-vous français? Un petit? Un petit chou? And then like that one sentence from Moulin Rouge, voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Which is not a sentence that you should say in your daily life. Don't say that. What does it mean? I'm not saying. You can look that up. A house. It can indeed buy a house. What? Your French accent is surprisingly good. Thank you. Omelette du fromage? Omelette du fromage. Oh, money can buy a house is what you meant. Yes. Oh, I see. I see. It can buy a house. This makes me think of the like it can moisturize me. Most Americans and Brits have a French accent that makes me ick. Oh, interesting. That's so cool. You know, I really love learning about accents, even though I'm terrible at them. Money can buy a jet ski, and I've never seen an unhappy person on a jet ski. Who made that joke first? Because I have seen that. I have seen that joke so many times. Why are you censoring French? Oh my god, the French. Les Miserables is the only French thing that I really have any knowledge of. Is that even French itself? I know it's about France. Brum, brum. Victor Hugo, Victor Hugo was French, yes. Don't try learning Canadian French. Even I don't understand. Ah, yes. That's true. Quebecois French is French DLC. I've been to Quebec. Canadian French is very interesting. I don't totally the degree to which they speak French in Canada is a little, it's interesting because it really does depend on where you live. Like I've been to some parts of Canada, like in the west, like the Vancouver area, and there's like no French anywhere. Like no one really speaks French. And then I went to Quebec once. Fucking, it's like being in Chinatown. All of everything is in French. It's like, why am I? There's no English anywhere. Like it's not even like, oh, they're like, oh, this is our second native language, which means that all the signs, everything is just in French, in our version of French. Good luck, have fun. And I'm just like, I'm gonna die. All of the titles of things are in French, all of the menus are in French, all of our directions are in French. I don't understand any of this. And then you try to translate it and it's like, oh wait, this is not like France French, this is Quebec French, which is different. Literally, I'm glad my friend spoke a bit of French when I went. I know, there's like some people in Quebec who like wanted to imitate the motherland of France. Hilarious, because like, isn't the motherland of Canada like England? They still have, or had, the Queen on their money, no? Companies don't need to, and the rich already have multiple houses. Grifting not only leads to poor quality stuff, but making people poor because they spend more in the long run, and stuff like PBMs just make quality healthcare harder to access. I am not totally sure what this is in response to, but yes, this sounds like shitification. Oh, that's what you mean. It's just people developing, having their own history and culture. I mean, yes. See, I don't disagree. It's just very jarring. For like everything to be in French in Canada. I'm like, no, I thought I would be okay. I am not okay. I don't understand anything. Because the problem is I did learn a little bit of French when I was in elementary school. I was at a very weird school growing up where they like would try to randomly teach us Spanish, French, and Japanese. I don't know why those were the 3 languages that we learned. But like that was it. So I learned a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of French, and a little bit of Japanese growing up. Not enough for it to be useful in any way, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like all I got. Arigatou gozaimasu. Ohayou gozaimasu. Konnichiwa. Iyo. LMAO. I know, it's terrible. Like, hola. Hola, me llamo Lev. In the UK, it was French, Spanish, and Mandarin. Mandarin would have been great for me. I already was taking Mandarin classes. You know, 我的中文比我的英文，不是比我英文，比我的那个法语和西班牙语和日语好很多。因为我父母是中国人嘛。So like Chinese would have been like way easier for me. See, this is why I never learned any language properly, because I was 5 and they were trying to teach, I was already fluent in English-ish, debatable, and people were trying to teach me 4 other languages. I don't know why people thought that it was a good idea for me to learn English and Mandarin, and then also French and Spanish and Japanese. And then at some point in college, I learned Korean. So like, I thought Chinese was really hard. I mean, it is really hard, but it's easier if you've spoken it since you were born. So it would have been easier for me. Chinese is really hard though, I will say. 我的中文水平没有那么高. I was saying like my Chinese is like not that good. Like 说话还可以 like I can talk okay， 可是读书的话就是小学的水平，like when it comes to reading it's like a elementary school like situation. Wait, Lev, did you do Chinese school as a kid, like the cram schools after American schools? No, I didn't do that. I did like weekend Chinese school. So like instead of having a weekend, I went to school to learn Chinese and also math. The tones are the hard part. Yeah, exactly. Like with Chinese, it's like the tones that are the hard part, and it's like easier if you've been listening to it since you were born, since you were a kid, you know? So like distinguishing the tones was not that. It's not the hardest part for me because you get used to it. Like your ear gets trained for it. A lot of my friends did Chinese school on the weekends. Yeah, that's pretty standard. I think it's a pretty big like Chinese American immigrant child experience. Yeah, it's like going to Chinese school. Now I feel like I should have gone with them. I mean, no. Well, because the thing is that like, again, the Chinese, at least in my experience, right? Chinese school on the weekends for Chinese American immigrant kids, it's like a very specific experience where they do assume that like you can speak a lot more Chinese than you can read. So even though I couldn't fucking read anything as a kid, our classes were entirely taught in Chinese. Because we could all understand it, even if we couldn't like read as well as we understood, you know? So like, yeah. So it's not like from true beginning, you know? Are you from the US? Unfortunately, yes. Might make it difficult, but I respect trying to preserve it when other places like China are trying to erase other languages like Canto by making Mandarin the standard in schools. I mean, yes, I think preserving language is one of them. Preserving heritage and history and culture is like one of the most important things that we can do as humans, I think. Like I understand a lot of Tagalog, but I could never read or speak it. Yeah, exactly. Like it's interesting how language gets broken up in that way, and you kind of only realize it when like your fluency is not that high, is that like listening versus speaking versus reading and versus writing are all like kind of different skills, you know? We've kind of like ventured away from the original topic of this stream. That's okay though. I will say, oh, I guess this is kind of related to adulting. Duolingo is not a good way to learn a language. I'm just gonna say that. Like, you don't, like, because that's not how our brains work. And this is why, okay, this is my controversial opinion. I don't like flashcards. And I don't like learning via flashcards or like close. Close cards being close being like a sentence with like 2 blanks in it, and it's like fill in the blank. It's like I went to the to go to and like you need to fill it in, or like oh this you know, like a Jeopardy type situation. Like I don't like, especially as a way to learn, it doesn't work that way. Like you don't learn things as discrete, separate pieces of information, right? Okay, like think about it like this. You didn't learn what a fork was by someone showing you pictures of 20 different forks and being like, this is a fork, and this is a fork, and this is a fork, right? Like, you learn what it is based off of like a sense of function, right? Which is why at some point you learned what a fork was well enough that if you've only ever seen metal forks, if you see a plastic fork, you're like, oh no, that's a fork. I understand, because I understand like the underlying reasoning and structure behind this idea, right? If you see a fork with 3 tines instead of 4 tines, or that's smaller than you expect, or that's, you know, disposable or whatever, you still understand what it is because you understand the underlying thing, right? That is how we learn things, and that's how we remember things. You don't go the other way. You learn what a fork is when your little sister stabs you with one. Okay, I mean, I guess this is true. You learn what a fork can do when you get stabbed with one. Wait till she learns about the fapoon. You mean a spork? You mean a spork? Sporks are, I don't like them. I don't think they work for either purpose personally. Fapoon, okay, no. But yeah, that's why Duolingo doesn't work. That's not how you learn a language. Like, there's online, I think, compilations or like publicly available versions of how like the military learns languages, and it's very different. Like, immersion is the way to learn a language. Like, it's the best way to learn a language. Utensil tier list. Utensil tier list goes like this. Chopsticks, S tier. Soup spoon, also S tier. A tier is your fork and spoon and knife. And then spork is F tier. Everything else is F tier. Yeah. Straws are also F. I don't like straws. I don't like... Okay, but what's your favorite chopstick type? There's only one correct chopstick type. It's a lacquered wood squared off chopstick, right? Those are the best kinds. I don't like metal chopsticks. I understand, like, I don't mind metal chopsticks I don't mind metal chopsticks. I will use them if I have to, but they're too loud. They also absorb heat too much, so you could the fact that if you have soup that's too hot, you could burn yourself on your chopstick doesn't make any fucking sense to me, right? Lacquered wood soup spoon, lacquered wood chopsticks, and squared off chopsticks so that your chopsticks don't roll off the fucking table. I also, Korea, love you. Your flat chopsticks don't make sense to me. What is this? The flat chopsticks are impossible to use. I don't like them. Metal chopsticks make sense in a restaurant context, okay? Because you need to, like, you want to, like, fucking blast that shit. You know, blast the germs off of it. You want it to last for a long time. I will accept that. I will accept that the restaurant context is different from at home. But at home, I'm using black lacquered wood chopsticks because they don't burn my mouth, they don't roll off the table, and they, like, actually slide past each other nicely, unlike flat chopsticks. I don't like those. Mother is based with this take. Thank you. I know. I know I'm based. Have you ever played the chopstick marble game as a kid? How many marbles in water can you pick up and move into a bowl in a minute? I've never played that game. I played other games with, like, chopsticks, like picking up cereal and stuff, but not marbles. Marble? That could be hard. It's kind of like trying to pick up, like, really soft tofu, because you have to calculate the pressure correctly, right? Because I feel like if you're trying to pick up a marble, squeezing harder wouldn't actually help. Copper chopsticks? Copper is metal, yes. Also, copper chopsticks would be expensive, no? Because copper is very expensive. Like, I'm assuming that it must be because people are like tearing houses apart trying to sell copper. I just got a horrible idea that I'm gonna ask Bree to do. King Bree? What are you gonna do? Please. Oh no. Okay, if you're gonna ask him to do something horrible, it had nothing to do with me. Leave me out of it. He bullies me enough as it is. Copper is decently cheap. Well, it's gotta be like somewhat expensive, right? Right? It's gotta be somewhat expensive or else people wouldn't be like stealing it out of people's walls to sell, no? SMD soldering, holding the components with chopsticks. Ooh, that sounds terrible. That sounds dangerous. Also, yeah, no, that sounds like a bad idea. I wouldn't want to do that. Don't make him do that. Don't make him do something. Okay, I don't know enough about soldering, but like, I don't know enough about soldering, but I feel like that would be dangerous. Do you need to wear a respirator while you're soldering? Okay, this is my other adulting advice. Safety. Look up how to do things safely before you do them. This includes changing tires, sunscreen, sun protection, generally speaking, breathing protection, fucking wear a respirator if you're spray painting outside, if you're soldering things, if you're doing anything that leads to like dust getting blown into the air, wear a mask. Don't breathe that shit into your lungs. But yeah, please learn how to do things safely. Please, 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 please. An ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure, or whatever it is that people say. I think that's the way the saying goes, right? Bum, bum, bum. I'm gonna huff the flux fumes. You do not need a respirator for soldering. At best, you need a fume extractor. Okay, good to know. I am just overly cautious. Even when I solder at work, all the time with just safety glasses. Whew. Look, as long as it's safe, okay? But like, I used to do research. There were too many people who would like use formaldehyde not in the fume hood. And I'm like, this is like I'm pretty sure this is a carcinogen, bro. I'd use a respirator because I'm paranoid. Honestly, same. Again, better safe than sorry, right? I'm scared for my lungs. I'm so scared for my lungs. I hate the idea of getting lung cancer. It's so scary. We only got one pair. You usually only get one pair. This is true. You do usually only get one pair of lungs. And one pair of kidneys. I don't want people to get carcinogens in their lungs so that I don't have to study all of them. Yes, the more people get sick, the more we have to study. It's terrible. Like, why would you make us do this? If we just get rid of all the exogenous causes of lung cancer, then we don't have to study them all. If we just get rid of all of the exogenous causes of things generally. Fair, but to reference the first question, we can't force people so they make mistakes and you have to study them all anyway. That's also true. Well, the problem is that we keep coming up with new and exciting, horrible ways of giving people cancer. You know? Like, bro, we actually, like, didn't know that leaded gas is bad for a really long time. And then we didn't know how much fucking lead was in the air because of leaded gas. Like, I think it was like some researcher who wanted to... What was it again? Let me think. Oh, I'm pretty sure... What was he researching? I think he was researching something like about like space or rocks or something, or like how old a rock is based off of like element testing. But in order to do his research, he needed to be in a lead-free environment, and in trying to like find or create a lead-free environment, he realized how much fucking lead was in everything. Like, they had to come up with whole new like decontamination sterilization procedures for his lab, because he was like, and then it kind of dovetailed into like, why is there so much lead fucking everywhere? Indeed, leaded gas brought down the IQ of everyone in the US for decades. Yes, not just IQ. Lead poisoning can make you like psychotic. I remember a video about it. Yeah, I think I read it in it's a very good book. It's called The Disappearing Spoon. I forget the name of the guy who wrote it, but The Disappearing Spoon is a very good book. I highly recommend it. He like goes through the elemental table and talks about like, gives like a history lesson in terms of like the element itself and its place in human history, but then also like how it was discovered and stuff like that. It's a very good. He's written other books, but I don't think they're as good as his first one. I read that in undergrad. Yeah, I read it in middle school when it came out. I was obsessed with that book in middle school. Oh, thank you for the head pats. Speaking of books, I recommend The Ghost Map. Ooh. The Ghost Map. The Ghost Map. What is that about? Maps are very cool to me. Ever since like paper towns, which I never read, but the concept of a paper town is very cool to me. Oh. Alright. Guys, I'd recommend The Checklist Manifesto by Atul Gawande. Oh, his book Being Mortal is part of what made me decide to be a doctor. Like, I had already kind of decided I wanted to be a doctor and had started taking like pre-med courses and like science courses, but I read Being Mortal in college, and I'm not gonna say it changed my life, but I think thinking a lot about death is a prerequisite for developing your own sense of self and humanity, I guess. Like, there's very few universal human experiences, and one of them is grappling with the fact that you will die. Ooh, are you in medical school? I am not in medical school. I graduated medical school. I am a doctor. I graduated like 4 years ago. Spectral is in medical school, yes. Any Lev print winners message me, by the way. Oh yeah. Guys. So there's been an ongoing giveaway for the last week or so, and we drew people's names recently, and so okay, so Twinkie, Beaming, Seek, Sucho, Vanny, Rose, Freezer Milk, Bone, Spectral, and Zai have all won a signed print of me. So message Seek, and we'll send them to you. And then there's also like signed mouse pads that I need to give away at some point, because there's new people today. And so I'll give them away later this week, I think. So if you're new and you're here, you should come back to stream this week. Is that 8? No, that's all 10. I'm gonna have it mailed to Gecko Dad so he can have it. Ah, he can just have this picture of me for no good reason. Okay, so these are my merch collections if you want to look. I'm very proud of them personally. And then also, please join my Discord. I'm there all the time. I read every single message. I'm actually very proud of this fact. There is no Discord server that I am in that I have no notifications for, except for this one, my own. I read everything. I read all of, well, I don't read the bot channel or the self-promo channel that consistently, but other than that, I read everything. Whenever there's a notif, I clear it by reading everything. So like, it's a good place to be. I try to be active in other people's servers, but it's like hard at some point, you know? Okay, I need to double check what my schedule is for tomorrow. Circle has joined your Discord. Prepare for chaos. Oh no. No. No chaos. Wait. Let me look at my... I always forget my own schedule. Oh, we're playing Cult of the Lamb tomorrow. Okay, that'll be fun. Prepare or be square, indeed. Prepare. Okay. Guys, I need to find someone to raid into, because my voice is starting to hurt and I need to go to work, unfortunately. So today's stream is going to be a little shorter than usual. I'm sorry. Have we graduated from adulting yet? I think so. I think we've graduated from adulting. Oh, I normally would have had more of a plan in terms of things to talk about today, but I forgot. Let's see, is anyone having a special event? I would like to cancel my adulting subscription. No, you're not allowed to cancel it. Once you have subscribed to your adulting prescription, to your adulting subscription, once you have subscribed to adulting, it is a lifelong subscription that you cannot terminate. Thank you so much for being a proud purveyor of adult services. Never mind, it'd be guarantolting. Oh my god. Gerontocracy, geriatric tilting, geriatricing. It's like a McAfee subscription, yes. It's like, please be warned that your McAfee subscription is about to be discontinued. Please make sure that you protect yourself. By continuing your McAfee prescription, you're about to no longer be protected. McAfee is such a scam and never goes. I know. Would you like to protect yourself from viruses and other scams? Please renew your subscription. Now, please renew your subscription. Please, we need it. We need you to renew your subscription right now. Right fucking now. Do it. Fucking do it. Smiling passive-aggressive white woman is my favorite voice to do. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the Lindsay Ellis like Omegaverse lawsuit videos, but oh my god, Maggie Mae Fish's voice for the lawyer is so good. Please be warned that my client will be suing you for breach of contract. Jesus. All right, I need to go drink water before my next meeting / appointment / work. So I'm going to go do that. Why don't we imagine if they used a VTuber in the future as a notification for their ads? Oh my god, bro, I got a TurboTax ad the other day that had like a fucking song involved, okay? Like, ads are going crazy. Alright, we're gonna raid someone that I don't know, but no one that I know is streaming right now. So we're going to raid this person, Primrose, who is playing Dead by Daylight, which I do want to play at some point with friends because it's supposed to be scary and I want to gain more ability to play scary games. And then also she's partner pushing, so I feel like I should help. Are they green though? No, she's pink, but like I'm like green and pink, so they're not green. Scam. I'm sorry. What? Wow, so rude. Y'all are so rude. Wow. Look at that. Look at all those chatters. Why no green make them green? I'm sorry, okay? Alright guys, bye-bye now. I love you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be playing Cult of the Lamb. Starting at 10 a.m. I'm going to try to not be like late. All right, bye.